Hi everyone, this is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. They do mean the world to me. This is the daily forecast. It is a broad spectrum reading for the greater collective. Therefore, it's intended for anybody who sees it. It is, I do speak in broad terms while interpreting the cards, just so that it reaches as many people as it possibly can without, sort of shutting anyone out. Therefore, you need to sort of figure out where it best fits in your life with whatever you might be dealing with. If nothing fits or it doesn't seem to make any sense to your life, that's completely fine. Don't worry, nothing is wrong. You just might be working on something different than those that are the majority of those that will see this video when they need to see it. This video is originally created for Wednesday, the 3rd of February. But it's not necessarily solely built for that date or created for that date. It's meant to be received whenever you're receiving it. So if you're seeing it on a date that's other than the 3rd of February, don't worry. Just continue to watch the video. There might be a meaning or a message in here that may make sense to your life. So you don't have to turn it off if it's beyond the date. You can actually go through and just, pick any of my past readings if you feel so inclined. It's like opening a page of a book and reading and seeing if there's a message in the book. Also, after having watched any of my videos, if you choose to make any decisions in your personal life, those decisions are solely your responsibility. Never take anything that I say over that of a professional in their field, like a doctor, a lawyer, therapist, people like that. If they are giving you advice or direction, please follow their direction first and foremost over anything I say. And know that using your highest intelligence and intuition is a priority. Always think for yourself first. Utilize my readings to sort of maybe, validate what you may already know, help support you, that sort of thing, but they're not here to make the decision for you, if that makes sense, okay? Use them as sort of a tool. All right, so let's get into this and see what's going on with the cards. Okay, we saw this in the Clarifiers yesterday. Interesting. So this is the Ace of Discs, which would be like the Ace of Pentacles. This is new beginnings. Aces always bring an optimism to them. I always view aces as being focused on the self. So ideally, we want to look for new opportunities for ourselves. New opportunities materially, that would be the element of discs or the earthy nature of discs. So there could be new opportunities for business, new opportunities for like advancement in some sort. It could be within our relationships, our friendships, our business working relationships, all of that sort of a thing. But ideally, this is sort of maybe an inspiration that's come to us about a new creative idea we want to take on or that we want to pursue. It looks like it's very much in our face today. It's very much available to us if we want it. We want to kind of how would I say, like pursue it. Yesterday we saw that Princess of Discs, or not discs, sorry, swords. And she was very much giving me this vibe of pursuit, like relentless pursuit. And so this was one of the clarifiers yesterday, and I feel like this clarifier is kind of moving up to the forefront. So there's, what this sort of tells me is that there might be a goal that each one of us has on the horizon, right? And for each one of you, that goal may be different. One of you, it might be a new job. Another one, it might be a new relationship. One of you, it might be to better a relationship that already exists. You all will have a different goal, but whatever your said goal is, that would be in the physical material realm. There's pathways to get there. That's what this sort of ace is saying to me. There's opportunities, but we have to kind of live in those ideas, live in those thoughts, live in those possibilities, and start to flesh that out for ourselves. Yesterday's Princess of Swords, she's about sort of that thought aspect, right? And so she was kind of telling us maybe to clear those thoughts and start to think towards this new pursuit, this new goal. This would be about putting the focus of ourselves first and the pursuit of that goal first, or high on our list of priorities, not necessarily negating what else we have to do in our lives, but really sort of making this a priority, because if we're not taking care of ourselves and our needs, we're not really necessarily very useful to anybody else, right? So some of you might experience gifts or sort of opportunities being handed to you through this card. Take them is sort of my feeling. We'll look at the clarifiers and see what they say. But to me, this is very much about what is it that we want and how is it that we're going to get there, and pursuing that, right? Being open to that, asking for that, even of the universe or of our higher self, like lead me, guide me, get me there. I need something new. I want something new. I want this, kind of is the energy that I get from this. Now let's look to the clarifiers. So we have the Hanged Man. So this is Piscean energy. This would be major arcana, so it's rather significant. Usually the Hanged Man indicates sort of being stuck or feeling as though we're stuck. Now, I do want to say we're at Wednesday. This would be Wednesday's reading. So we do have that Three of Swords energy underneath. That was from Sunday's reading. That underpinning energy, that could be a little bit of emotional stuff, especially with this Hanged Man Piscean energy card here. We may not feel like we can actively move forward just yet. There might be something we need to know. There might be some sort of resource we need to find. Whatever that may be, I think that there's an opportunity for us to gain, with the Hanged Man, it's always about sort of gaining enlightenment through pause, through sort of waiting. Sometimes we're stuck, but usually to get unstuck, we have to become aware of something, right? And so when I think about this Hanged Man here, there's time for contemplation. There's time for, I feel like this Ace of Discs to me is not necessarily that the thing, I mean, it could be being presented to you, certainly, but this is about sort of formulating the plan towards how to get there is kind of what I feel like is going on here. The Hanged Man is asking you to kind of pause, reflect, look, measure, weigh your options, really kind of work your way through this, look at your feelings around it, because I feel like with this Ace of Discs, it's very available to you if you believe that you can have it. But if some of you are holding yourselves back or maybe caught up in the past turmoil and pain, and that's that Three of Swords that we saw on Sunday, if some of that is tempering our feelings, our perspectives, our viewpoints about how we pursue things or what we feel as though we deserve, it's something to that nature, right? It could be holding us up, right? It could be blocking us from being able to move forward. We might need to become aware of this perception or this viewpoint that we hold within ourselves that we need to sort of find or become aware of so that we can release it so that we can move forward in a productive manner. Now, the next card is the Three of Cups. This is about this. The word on the bottom there, it's kind of blurry. I'm sorry. It's abundance. There you go. So this is all about love and beauty and celebration, coming together with those that we love, those that we care about. I feel like there's a lot of water energy going on with the Three of Cups and the Hanged Man. There's a lot of emotion, right? And when we saw earlier in the week that Three of Swords, to me, although that's not an emotional card, it's a swords card, which would be the mind. The heart in the drawing of the Three of Swords, right, is a very emotional sort of, it has that heart there. So to me, it always represents the mind, but it also represents the pain around the past. And so when I think about that card being underneath this, I think that we want to be dwelling more in this Three of Cups, like rejoicing in the now, rejoicing in what we have, being grateful for what we have, channeling that information or that energy into the possibility of this Ace of Discs versus that Three of Swords, which would be more about reflecting on the past from a place of pain, sadness, regret, shame, those sort of feelings, right? This is about releasing that and letting that go. That would be the Hanged Man and the suspension that he's in. It's like sort of maybe our head and our heart might be fighting things out right now. These two threes are maybe doing battle with whether or not we're kind of going to get out of our own way and make things happen, right? That's the Ace of Discs, or what I feel like the Ace of Discs is calling us to do at this time. All right, so let's look at the last card. The last card is the Emperor. I love this. This is card number 4, the Major Arcana. With the Hanged Man and the Emperor here, guys, I'm going to say this. This is a rather significant day, especially with that Three of Cups, too, because that's a really, and the Ace of Discs, really. These are beautiful cards. The only thing that I see here is there's a holdup with that Hanged Man, but the Hanged Man, to me, is about illumination, ultimately, when we get through and past our hang-ups, whatever they may be. The Emperor is always that sort of loving father nature, that balanced, grounded, a fiery aspect of the sign of Aries, right? Willing to take action, willing to do things with discernment, willing to use a logical sort of. He's sort of the Emperor to me is like the best attributes of all four kings combined, right? He represents all of those things, but he's also the sign of Aries, which is about taking action, moving swiftly, getting things done, not messing around, not mucking about. But to me, I think that it's interesting too, if you look here, he's sort of looking to this hangman situation. He's almost, I feel like this card is telling us, like, look here, we need to clear this up so that we can move forward in this energy freely and use it to create this Ace of Discs, right? So whatever it is that we want right now, we may not be able to quite possibly attain just yet, because there's something that's holding us up. There's something that is, it's maybe a belief, it's a memory, it's a past pain, it's a fear of being hurt in, like we were in the past, something to that effect. But the Emperor and the Hanged Man, both being major arcana cards, significantly want to help us. They also want to clear the path for us, right? And we're going to do that through the Hanged Man energy, but we also have to understand that the strength and the discernment of the Emperor are very powerful. We have an ability to not only move ourselves through this logically and correctly, but with sort of that, again, that word discernment. We want to hold that high standard for ourselves and not cut any corners here. Don't avoid the elephant in the room, or don't sweep our emotions or our feelings under the rug right now, especially with that those two water cards in the center there. We have the Three of Cups and the Hanged Man. It's saying that there's an importance to looking a little bit deeper as to how we feel and being strong about doing that. I hope that makes sense today. Now let's look at the grounding stone for the day. The grounding stone is focus. So we want to ground in focus. So, and what I think this is trying to say to us is, where is our focus? If we are focused on something new, some new opportunity, some new desire, i.e. that Ace of Discs, or something that's come our way that's sort of shifted our focus towards new opportunities, I think we need to also look at our focus of where are our belief systems at, where are our thoughts at, what do we truly believe about what we deserve, what we don't deserve, whether or not we have a right or the resources to go about getting it. These are all things that might be challenging to us, and if we just don't pay attention to them and don't sort of sit with them and go through them and understand them, we could sort of, I don't want to say muck this up, because the Emperor is here, so I don't think he will allow for that, but we don't want to prolong this. Does that make sense? I feel like the message here in these cards is that we have every opportunity for great success today, but we have to maintain that focus, and we want to get smart about sort of where we're at, how we're seeing things, how we're relating to things, where we're vibrating with things in a way, right? If we stay in this gratitude of the Three of Cups, that celebratory nature and that sort of free-flowing happiness or that abundance feeling, we have a far greater chance of creating what this Ace of Discs wants to offer us than if we're in the earlier prediction of that Three of Swords energy, which was on Sunday, right? So I think this is an opportunity to kind of, how do I want to say this, weigh the bad from the good, and or separate the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, within our thoughts, within our emotions, and really start to channel some of our highest and best awareness, our highest and best sort of intelligence, and our focus, and keep focused on what it is we want, why we want it, how much we deserve it, how we will go about getting it, how, there's really this, that Three of Cups makes me feel like there should be nothing stopping us other than whatever we personally have going on within ourselves. Does that make sense? And so when we release that, that's when things can really flow, and we can start to move towards whatever this Ace of Discs thing may be for each one of you. And for each one of you, it's going to be something different, like I said. I hope that makes sense, guys. Be good to yourself. Remember the underpinning stone for the entire week is generosity. So reminding ourselves to be good to ourselves during this time. We also see that in that abundance card of the Three of Cups. Celebrate yourself and everything that you do. Maintain your focus and move through this day empowered. Okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. It greatly helps me. And subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.